Hey, what's up? Nope.
Hey, Eddie.
Today's topic, superhero fatigue.
Is it real? Is it not?
Is it? Let's talk about that.
Are you ready to join us on a wild ride with that
What's up,
weird
Nope?
and Mr. Nope
Hey, Eddie.
sitting
How you doing?
at your
Good. How you
side?
doing, buddy?
No topic off limits, nothing is safe. Weird dopes are here, so try to be brave. Weird dopes coming at you. Weird dopes, are you dope too? Weird dopes coming at you. Weird dopes, are you
He's
dope
auto.
too? Coming at you.
We started a channel.
I
Weird
see you
dopes.
laughing.
Are you dope
Godzilla.
No.
too?
Godzilla.
Weird dopes. Coming at you. Weird dopes. Are you dope
You can do
You
it.
can do it. Mhm. Hey, everybody. Welcome aboard. I see that our buddies at the Hydrosylum are in the chat. How you doing tonight? Nope.
Oh, not too bad. Got to get my microphone going on here. Hold on a second.
No worries.
Technical difficulties.
The fun of being alive.
Oh man, this thing went off in the middle of that whole thing.
Oh,
So-
of course it did. It happens to everybody. We just roll with it. I can hear you just fine. You just got a little bit of
Well,
Godzilla
Probably
effect
going
going
off
on.
of a different camera mic. Probably
Now you're synced.
now it's going. Here we go.
I'll just sit here and twiddle. You tell me when you're ready.
Twiddle.
Yeah, a little
I'm
twiddle.
gonna throw this over here.
Looks like someone's kicking me in the ear.
It was like Jay.
Yeah, our buddies at the Hydrosylum have joined us already.
Oh man,
So, you have anything
how's your day been?
fun? Not bad.
Yeah.
It's got hot again, which I'm not too happy about.
Here too.
That's what
You just
AC's
tease
for.
us with the fall stuff.
Only 77 days until Halloween, so the cool weather's coming. Actually, it would be 76 days, 6 hours, and 44 minutes. Not that I'm counting. So, of course, my camera dies.
Shenanigans. I
Fun
think it's like every
time.
single time that you lean forward, it wants to fiddle
Well,
around.
maybe I shouldn't lean forward. Hang on, I'll see if I can fix it. Hey, it's only our second episode, right?
Right. Got to get all the quirks out. But I agree, Jay. I think it's more, not so much superhero fatigue as much as poor quality of movies, which that's all we've kind of gotten lately. I mean, as far as the comics go, I just want a good story. But for whatever reason, they have just such a long, drawn out way of doing the other big comic books, the big two and all that.
You're not supposed to start the topic already. What are you doing? I'm just picking on you, dude.
No, you're good.
We got past the
Well, before we
technical
get too far and
difficulties.
deep into that, what do you want to start with? You want to start with the
You want to start with the rumor mill? Sure.
Might as well.
Couple of topics I came across this week on the rumor mill. I have no idea if they're true or not. That's why it's the rumor mill. But apparently, the 4-episode Disney Plus miniseries of Wakanda that is currently playing In the fourth episode, they introduce something that
Spoiler alert.
signals the
Spoiler
possible
alert.
return of the Eternals. I didn't say it, but they introduced something that could be hinting that the Eternals are coming back. I don't know if you're happy about that, or if you're sad about that, or if it's even going to happen. That's why it's the rumor mill. Do you want to see the Eternals come back?
I wouldn't mind it
I've never
because
made it
I
through the first movie.
not at all. Like, how far did you get?
Maybe 40 minutes, and I fell asleep.
One of those situations, and
Yeah.
then just never had any interest to figure out what happened.
Well, I have interest, but it's a time thing. And
Oh
when
yeah,
when I got so much other stuff I got to do, watch, read, whatever, I'll get to it again at some point, maybe. But
yeah,
my wife has zero interest. She was like sleeping 20 minutes in. So, and from what I've
yeah. I mean,
heard, a lot of people kind of stank on it. But you liked it?
I didn't hate it. You know, everybody else just has all kinds of bad stuff to say. And while it did have some quirks and the story itself could have definitely gone and had way more. I mean, you could have just probably done better with making that like a two-part movie and then putting more story and more filler of a lot of the like the backstory leading up to the main story that they're going with. They touch on it kind of just throughout the movie, so it's real cut up. And if you kind of just did that, but more in depth with some of those spots to where you could see and actually get behind some of how the characters turned, or um, even how some of those deviants, I think, is what they are, just how they changed and where they actually came about. Just more of that stuff. I don't know. It was just seemed like a lot to throw at you, but didn't really answer the questions that it left you with at the end. You know, to where, yeah, you need a sequel now to answer some of these, but at the same time, you could have had way more story and done a two-part thing like you did with Endgame, and then just made it an event, not an event, but just a bigger thing
Do you
because they wanted them to be a bigger team.
do you think people would have came back for the second movie, or would it have been better as a little mini series streamed?
If there would have been more with the story and it chopped up in a way that would have served a two-part movie structure, then I think that movie could have done better because, like I said, it did have its good parts, and we're obviously using some of the things from the story in the main story going forward. You know, because now that big, celestial being that came out of the ocean is all made out of adamantium. So
Right.
that's how they're introducing that there. But I mean, if you would have got more in depth with the actual celestial story, like as their memories started to come back in that aspect, then you probably would have been a little bit more excited to see another team or the remnants of one coming back in the end of that movie. Don't mean to spoil anything for you, but the end credits for that was introducing oh shoot, what's his name?
Wasn't it Blade or something?
No, it's supposed to be Thanos' brother, but I can't remember his name.
Oh, I don't know. Didn't they also do a
Starfire,
Blade?
maybe.
Didn't they do a Blade teaser in that or something too? Or
They did. They did. So that one had like a two-part mid-credit scene. They had one where it followed Kit Harington's character with the Black Knight, where he kind of finds the ebony, or he actually shows the ebony blade. He's known where it was, but now since all this stuff and she gets abducted at the end, now he's considering actually taking on the mantle of the Black Knight, which is an eternal. Basically, as soon as you take on that mantle, till death.
Cool.
Star Fox.
Well, see, I was at a disadvantage because I knew nothing about the Eternals going in. It was one of those never read it, didn't know anything about them, and it started too slow for me. I'll give it a try again when I have time, but you know how the list of to watch keeps growing.
Oh yeah. Well, whenever you have the catalog that Marvel does, I mean, just trying to sit there and introduce someone to it, you'd be like, all right, Now, this is going to sound like a daunting task, but there's 30 movies to watch.
Isn't
You got
that
to watch
crazy?
all these before you get to this.
Isn't that crazy to think about that we've been through 30 already?
Yeah, I don't know if the count's actually 30, but I'm sure it's close because there was 22, I think, around the time the Endgame was out.
Yeah. Hey, Chad's here. How you doing, buddy? Thanks for popping in and sharing some time with us.
Yeah, Star
Okay.
Fox is the character, though, that supposed to be
Thanos' brother.
Thanos' brother. Yep. And I think he was played by Harry Styles, the
Oh,
singer.
cool.
And then you had Patton Oswalt voiced Pip the Troll, which is another character. Like, I didn't read any of the Eternals comics either, but just from trying to answer the questions that I was left with at the end of that movie, where I learned all that stuff, because it seems like they might not try to go back to it.
Right. Well, and according to Wesley Snipes, there ain't going to be no other Blade. So
Right.
that
Well, I
might
don't
be
think,
shot too, which I wouldn't
yeah.
mind. I mean, it'd be cool to see an updated Blade, but I still love those original ones. I watch them all the time,
Oh, yeah,
especially
they still hold
during the
up.
Halloween season.
Yeah, and
All right.
I think the issue with that Blade movie, the new one, was Marshall Ali could not decide or agree to a script or something like that, or collectively maybe they couldn't figure out a script to actually bring it to light, the actual real thing. So
I just thought it was great how Snipes dealt with that in the Wolverine Deadpool. That was
oh yeah,
great.
definitely.
Shall we go on to our next rumor?
Yeah, I think so.
The rumor mill is a winding about Spider-Man next year, and there's been several reports that Hasbro has leaked their 2026 Marvel Legend action figures, and in that action figure is Savage Hulk. So could this be the goodbye to Professor Hulk, or in my case, good riddance? Because I didn't really like Professor Hulk. What are your thoughts on Professor Hulk leaving and Savage Hulk coming back? Nope.
I see. I'll take them both, but I think the Professor Hulk character was overused, and I guess I shouldn't say underused or overused because it was also underused because it was just used kind of like a, you could have used Banner in all those moments, and I know you were trying to do the Professor Hulk, but if you're not going to do any other thing with that, then what's the point? You know?
I, I I can see why they used him in the movie because he wore the glove and snapped the finger and all that at first, and I
Mhm.
was a fan at first, but in She-Hulk, that was just cringy seeing him,
And that's what
especially
I
when he
mean.
brought his son out with Guy Gordon's haircut. It's like,
Right.
what is happening there?
And that's kind of what I'm talking about. Is like it was fine in the movie, but whenever they kept it up for the She-Hulk show, and there was just like, he never got more angry or changed in it at all whenever she was kicking his butt.
Right,
So I just don't see. It was just unnecessary. Like if you're going to spend the money on it, make it exciting.
right. In,
But
in a in a perfect world, I mean, they could have him be Professor Hulk, but have him get pissed off and have him be savage once in a while. Everybody gets angry, even if he's smart. Because I think everybody missed, Hulk smash, kind of action. I know I did.
right, yeah, because whenever it came back and that was part of the Endgame Part Two, everybody was excited to see that again.
hmm I'm still disappointed that he never got his revenge on Thanos, but that's another day.
Yeah, and that's. I think you're not alone in that.
Yeah. Well, that's all I got
But
for the rumor mill. So shall we move on to the news?
it would be cool. It would be cool to see the spoiler bros together in a movie though,
Oh yeah,
because they
true.
seem to be the ones that do spoil stuff. So it'd be hilarious if this inadvertently spoiled that, being that Mark Ruffalo never opens his mouth.
Yeah.
But yeah, guess it's not breaking news, but
I love how that you used Superman laying down. That's awesome. So the first news story that really excited me was Jason Voorhees has a little 15-minute fan film that was released the other day, and I got to watch it yesterday. It's actually pretty good. It had some good horror to it, had some good suspense to it, had some good gore to it actually, and it's free on YouTube. You just got to Google it and you can find it. But what it also is it's like a 15-minute commercial for Angry Orchard's Thriller Pack hard cider that is now available in the stores. And it's kind of funny because in the movie, everybody was drinking Angry Orchard. It was almost a little too obvious.
Product placement, would you say?
A little bit. A little bit. A little bit. And what's cool is that they got Jason on one can, and the other cans have like the hanging apple. And the apple with the bite out of it, you'll know what it means if when you watch it. I don't want to spoil anything for anybody because I'm a horror nut. Halloween's coming. Enjoy it, watch it, have fun with it. But the flavors are blood orange, which is the one that has Jason's mask on it. And I'll read their description. Packed with vibrant notes of juicy apple and honeysuckle, this cider slices through ordinary orange flavored drinks to deliver a bolder, zestier sweetness with a striking blood red hue. Ooh, scary. Berry Bewitched, which that's interesting because I would have called it Bewitched Berry, but Berry Bewitched. That's a tart berry sweetened by fresh apple in this complex blend of blackberry, elderberry, elderberry, and
Elderberry.
blueberry, resulting in a balanced flavor that finishes with a refreshing twist. I couldn't resist on the elderberry, dude. I mean, after all, your
Your
dad's
mother was a hamster.
and
Your father smelt of elderberries.
Bam.
I fart in your general direction. Now go away before I taunt you a second time.
You know, we can keep going because I know pretty much the whole script. But we're gonna go
Let's
way
not.
out. Tangent time. We're on
Let's
Monty
not.
Python. The third flavor, headless pumpkin. Crisp apples meets pumpkin pie, layered with a hint of vanilla ice cream and crumbled baked pie crust. I hope to God they don't have crumbles in there, but it kind of sounds like
A
there
la
might be.
mode.
Yeah. Could you imagine though a drink with crumbles in it? I mean, I guess it could be like a shake, but I hope they
I
don't
feel like
actually mean there's crumbles in there.
I feel like some of those thicker beers, the IPAs and all that stuff, they have stuff down in. You got to shake the bottle around a little bit before you actually open it, so it's
Oh,
all
okay.
flavors dispersed. So, and as
The
long as it's edible,
the don't shake it rapidly before you open it though. That could be fun.
you're right.
And then it dares to end with this nostalgic blend rivals pumpkin spice latte that and even your grandma's pie. Now that's insulting. And the final flavor is sinful apple, spelled with a C for cinnamon. This returning fan favorite blends sweet tart apple flavor with spicy cinnamon twists, adding a warmth perfection for the season. And that's it for the news. What are you going to try any of those?
I think I might pick up a pack because I've liked the cider, the hard cider drinks, and this one, like she might even actually enjoy that cinnamon one because she likes some of those apple drinks. Her and one of her friends came up with this little recipe where they like an apple pie, so it's kind of like these.
Right.
But I might pick up
You
a pack. I wonder if they're doing other characters since they have Jason on the box there.
I don't know. The going by that 15-minute movie and well, I don't know.
Would it be
Every
cool if there
picture
was
I've
more
seen,
15-minute movies?
yeah, it could be. Maybe that apple hanging is the backside of the can and maybe there are characters. Who knows?
Well, no, what I mean is like, what if there's other ones to where like this is the Jason pack, and then
Oh,
they
I
might
see
do
what you're
another
saying.
15-minute movie, and you get a different character or something like Michael. and then you get 4 different flavors based on
Don't
Michael
don't
or something.
don't
That'd be
tease me now. Come on. Don't tease me. You know I'm grabbing a pack just for nothing else to have the can.
Oh yeah.
And that's probably what I'll be drinking on Halloween night when we do a Halloween live. Whoop! I didn't say that out loud today. But
Well, that's a perfect fall drink anyway. Is a hard
oh, yeah.
cider.
As long as I
As soon
don't
as
have
that
too many
weather
of
gets
them.
down. Oh, that's another kind of sickness right there.
Yeah, you got that right.
Cider sickness.
Especially if we're streaming or anything.
Oh yeah,
That could be a
for
whole lot
sure.
of fun. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna pick up a case and give them a try. So shall we move to our actual topic for tonight now?
Well, I think we do have one more thing that I think Jay might be excited about.
Oh, what's that?
Superman on Amazon
Oh
Prime.
yeah, that's right. That's right. Superman released on Prime, I think last night or today. And
Yeah.
I can't remember which. It was either last night or today. $29.99 to purchase, which is a lot of money, and
That's
$24.99 to rent. Which, if you're going to rent it for 25, why would you not buy it for 30? Which is probably their whole scam.
holy cow! That's just for the digital.
Yeah, that's just for the digital rental from Amazon Prime.
Well,
And again,
even if
I'm
you
gonna,
bought it,
I'm gonna,
you still wouldn't even own it.
right. And then I'm
It's
gonna
not
vent
like
again because I still think it sucks that if you're paying to be a Prime member, that you have to rent something. If you're already paying that
agreed,
100 and some bucks a year, whatever they release, you should get to watch for free. But
or at least for 24 hours, as if you rented it. So as soon as you watch it that one time, 24 hours, you can watch it however many times you want in that 24 hours. But
they're doing this one
that,
for
you gotta
48.
buy it.
They're doing this one for 48 hours. So
So it's a limited time.
right. But the 48 hours doesn't start until you click play. So if you run it tonight, but you can't watch it tonight, whenever you
Gotcha.
click play, the 48 hours starts. So you can watch it as many times as you want.
Or if you run it on a Saturday morning, you got the weekend.
Right. And if you want to own a physical copy, the DVD release date was also announced as September 23rd. So
Oh, that's not too far away.
not at all. Which would put us even closer to Halloween, but
Right.
I'm just saying.
Castle. Castle's here.
Hey, Castle, what's up, brother? Oh, he said except for me, so I forget that, Castle. I didn't say hello. But I'm just kidding. How you doing, brother?
Yeah. So I guess if you want to get on to the meat and potatoes.
Might as well. So superhero fatigue. I've heard about this before, but what actually got me thinking about it again was I ran across an article from the writer of Batman 2 that's coming out, the Pattinson film, and he was talking about superhero fatigue and how that might have been part of the reason why the box office was slumping a little bit. And then he went on to say that every character doesn't need a movie, which I agree with that. But then he went on to say that he thinks that these newer versions, especially Superman, might turn it around. And that's exactly what happened with me, because I'll admit it. I had superhero fatigue. I've talked about this a few times on the Hydra Hangout. I haven't bought a superhero comic in a long time until they did Godzilla versus Spider-Man and Predator versus Spider-Man. And that got me back into reading Spider-Man, because that Predator Spider-Man is fantastic.
I still have to read that damn thing. I have it.
It's a good one.
And I'm pretty sure it's even on Marvel Unlimited or whatever the digital app is. I'm pretty sure it's on there by now.
Oh,
that was months ago.
Yeah. It's a goodie.
So,
if you ever do read it, we'll definitely have to talk about it.
Oh yeah, because that was an ongoing series too, wasn't it? There was a few of them.
Yeah.
So
good stuff. I think the Godzilla was just fun because I love Godzilla. But Predator it should have been. I couldn't believe it wasn't a red band. because of all the gore that's in it. I don't want to spoil it for you, but man, it's a
No,
damn
that's what
good
everybody was
story.
saying. I just think it's hilarious because that's what I actually got my nephew when we were in the comic book store on his birthday. He's like, I want that one. I'm like, huh, Spider-Man, that should be fine.
You're a good uncle. You get Red Band books. I like it.
Hey, you know what? I've started watching a show that he watches, and the show is way more graphic than I would have ever expected him to enjoy watching at his age. We watched that Attack on Titan. Great show, but wow. That should be a Red Band thing. It's definitely for mature audiences. I don't know how he's watching it. Little turd. But,
So have you ever experienced superhero fatigue?
well, whenever I guess it comes to collecting stuff, if I walk into the comic book store and I see all the Marvel, DC, everything, except for the absolute stuff lately, I haven't really been excited or wow, I have to follow this. And it might just be since I'm kind of leaning more towards horror stuff lately, because the DC Night Terror stuff, that was great, but it was a big giant horror series essentially between all the different titles, but I just like it whenever they turn things on their heads, because for most of us, we all know the basic stories for most of the characters in the beginnings. Whenever you start up a new run, you don't need to start over with a brand new origin story with each single, like every single run, there's a new origin story for that character, that there's one little bitty thing that happened. Now here's where we get the rest of the story, which if it is just a flashback, that's fine. But we don't need to see, Batman's parents getting, at the alleyway shot. We don't need to see that anymore. We've seen it how many times in movies, how many times in the comics, or
They
that's why
never
the
really did
absolute
that
ones.
accurately though, did they? They never really had Joe Kill in any of the movies, right? I mean, they had the
Not
Joker,
by name.
right? They
Not
had
by
the
name. They
Joker
didn't
kill
actually.
him in the Tim Burton films, right? The Joker killed the parents.
I think so. I think that's what the
Yeah,
flashback winds up being,
I'm pretty
and then
sure.
he's not actually Joe Chill. Yeah,
Right.
but I think in the Christian Bale ones, I don't think they gave him a name, but they didn't actually make it to where like it was any other character specifically. It was just a guy in the alley, I think.
Now, what would
And
be
then
interesting is in the Pattinson film, if they introduced that character and he actually finds out who did it. That would be interesting.
oh yeah, because they're doing more gritty and actually a more detective-esque
Yep.
kind of show
I really,
versus.
I really think that's going to happen. I think they're going to slip that in there, and I think that'll be a cool thing.
Yeah, well, uh, do you want another Joker in the Pattinson
No,
movies?
not
I know
really.
they
But
hinted at it at the end of
yeah, we're going to get one. But
it, which wound up being one of the Eternals guys.
yeah, yeah.
Played
But
the
I
Joker.
didn't. I was kind of over Lex Luthor too. But in the Superman movie, I liked him. So
Yeah,
who knows? Who knows?
yeah. Holt did a good job on that one for sure.
Now, did you ever have superhero fatigue with the movies?
Ever since Endgame, it's kind of been lackluster, I would say. I don't think anything's like horrible so bad that I want my money back by any means, but some of them, like Miss Marvel, I know that happened in between the two, but that one never really did much for me. Walked out of the theater going, really? That was not that great. And that could have just been the actress and the performance there. Don't want to point any fingers specifically, but could be.
Yeah.
And then the Miss Marvel show, though, like out of the shows, I did like WandaVision. The Agatha All Along show, that was good. And then the Miss Marvel show, the kid, Kamala Khan, like that was a good show. I really enjoyed that one. Out of all the other shows that they put out, Secret Agent or Secret Invasion, She-Hulk, not for me. But I wouldn't necessarily say it's superhero fatigue as much as it's just tired of going and spending $30, $50 at the movie theater to see something that I'm just going to be aggravated whenever I'm walking through the parking lot to get to my truck. You know?
Well, to be 100% honest with you, I had Marvel superhero fatigue for a while for the reasons that you said. The only movie after Endgame that I loved was No Way Home. And I love Spider-Man No Way Home. To me, that's the best movie they've put out. I'm biased because I love Spider-Man, but I like that one better than Endgame. And I know people go, oh, when you say that, but you know what? Actually, it's funny because in the past, the DC movies for me were always kind of, didn't really jump on board. I didn't become part of the whole Snyder versus Gunn stuff because I didn't really get into them or watch them that much.
Right.
But it was a DC movie that brought me back, the Batman with Pattinson. I made so much fun of that before I saw it because Pattinson was going to be Sparkles Batman because of Twilight. I'm like, DC, what are you doing, man? You already are putting out movies, and now you're going to have Sparkles Batman. So then one day I was bored, and I'm like, I'm going to turn it on. And it became my favorite Batman movie, and I never thought I'd say that. I thought he was an outstanding Batman, and I really thoroughly enjoyed it. And that brought me back. And then what really brought me back again was this year's Superman. I love that movie. I've already watched it like 5 times.
Yeah.
And it's fantastic.
So you find something else new each time you see it.
Yep.
You know, because it's one of those packed movies like Guardians that they're rewatchable.
Yep.
You know.
And hey, there's little Easter eggs there. Oh, Lorena's here. Hey, Lorena.
Mm-hmm.
I can't really see the chat. But...
Yeah, she said she's ready to see Superman again.
Yeah, it's good. Very, very good.
Yeah, I was going to say that too, Lorena. Don't talk about Cedric that way. He was Cedric Diggory in Harry Potter.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Robert Pattinson was in the Goblet
Oh, that's
of Fire.
right. He got killed, right?
Yep.
That was my favorite part. Never mind. We won't go there. But that was just
Must
because
have seen it after the Twilight movies.
Oh, I never saw the Twilight movies, and I never intend to see the Twilight movies.
That was crazy. The craze for that.
I know.
You go to any like fast food place like McDonald's, and they got Twilight, Team Jacob, Team Edward, all that crap everywhere. And I was like traveling that summer, and it was everywhere. I was like, this is insane.
As a joke, I bought my wife a Team Edward shirt for Christmas. She opened it and started laughing. And you know what? I've never seen her wear it, so I don't know if that's a hint or what.
She loves it. She wears it when you're away.
Yeah, which is never. But,
I miss my Edward.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what fantasy movie you're watching, but that ain't my life. But I just think it's funny because for me personally, it's kind of flip-flopped because I didn't care for the DC movies but loved the Marvel movies. And now it's the opposite except for Spider-Man. And I know one of my big things is what I can't remember his name, the writer of the second Batman movie. Matt Tomlin. He's the writer for the Batman 2. And it's just funny that after all that, how it flip-flopped for me. Because now I think DC is putting out amazing product, and I'm waiting for Marvel. Fantastic Four, for me, was okay. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. It was a lot better than what they've been putting out. But it didn't have that wow factor. And the Batman gave me a huge wow factor. I've probably watched that like 10 times, at least. Probably more than that. And then when that first trailer that Jay did for, he did live for that Superman, when the cord hit, the hair on my arm stood up. And I was like, really? Over Superman? What are you doing? And I love it. Absolutely love it. But, so what's the chat saying? Anything?
Castle said the Twilight Saga is a big staple in the Castle House. They love those movies.
Well, sparkle on, my friend. Glitter it up and have a good time.
Not here.
I don't ever intend to watch those.
Yeah, my lady doesn't read, so she never got into the books or nothing like that. She likes Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings, so she likes movies and stuff based on books, but never heard her go on and on or anything like that about Twilight. So
That's a good thing. Consider yourself lucky. Of course, I never thought I'd watch Harry Potter either, but my daughter loved the books so much. I bought her the DVD set and I watched them with her, and I actually ended up liking them.
yeah,
Especially when Twinkle Boy got unalived. That was my favorite part.
I like those movies. I don't think they need a show for a reboot, honestly. Like, sure, could they put more in there to expand on all the things that they left out in the movies themselves because the time constraint? But I think it's just too soon. Like, some of those actors could almost still play their characters. Right. And I just don't think if that's possible, then it's time for a reboot at all.
Now, the reboot, from what I thought I heard that the reboot was going to be like a streaming show, not actual.
It is, I think. Right, it is. I think it's going to be on HBO, because I think they still got Warner Brothers HBO. I think they're still all tied together, so that's where that'll land.
Yeah, that might work. I could see where, because they could, from just hearing from my daughter, she was always talking, this is missing from the book. She sounded like me with Lord of the Rings. So it sounds like there's enough content that if they did want to reboot it and be more faithful to the books, I'm sure it would do well.
Oh, there is plenty of content. I mean, those books are, well, the first three anyways are small, moderate sized, and then as soon as you get into the fourth one, because I think apparently that book's long because she wrote herself an issue and she couldn't change that issue because she was too far into the book, and therefore the book wound up getting like a third longer to write that, correct that, whatever it was. I can't remember what that detail was though. Something that happened, but made that book, and then after that, then all the books were that thick, and it was like, shit. Yeah, you can't replace Alan Rickman.
Oh no.
But I will say this though, Jay. Have you seen Adam Driver as Snape? That would be perfect. You know who Adam Driver is? Kylo Ren.
Yeah.
Yeah. He'd be a good
I wouldn't
Snape.
mind seeing him fall from the Akatoma Tower too. I wouldn't mind that at all.
Yeah, Lorena said that she's not a twitard. She did see the first one.
Twitard?
Yeah.
I like that.
She said she's seen the first movie, but couldn't stop laughing with how stupid it was, her and her friends.
Well, I'm a horror guy, and when you put glitter on a vampire and make it a teenage love story, that's
right.
That's not going to be for me.
Right. And that's all it was. It was just a big old love triangle drama fest.
If anybody out in the audience wants to pop in and join the conversation, just let us know. We're open to that. But so superhero fatigue, hopefully it's gonna die down. But hopefully the movies get better. I still don't know where the MCU's going, but I am looking forward to the new Spider-Man. Except I'm disappointed in the costume change, because I was so excited at the end of No Way Home when he came out in that suit, because it was like Gil Kane come to life for me. And seeing the new suit, I don't hate it, but I was just disappointed that it wasn't that suit that they showed at the final scene of No Way Home.
Which
and I am looking forward to it.
I think that's going to play into the story itself.
It could. I can't believe all the free press that Marvel is letting leak out on this one. They've let more leak out about this movie than any of the other ones that I can remember. with all the pictures and the little clips, and we're still a year out, right? It's next July, I think.
Yeah, I think so. But I think what they're trying to do with that is probably just draw up hype because they're worried about superhero fatigue and everybody getting tired of the stuff, and probably because there's such a long break, because I think they canceled some of the stuff that was maybe going to happen later on this year. So because they don't have anything going on, they want to try and keep that hype alive. So might as well feed you some of this because they went out on a high note, or didn't go out, but the last thing they did was No Way Home. So they're trying to keep the hype from that and try and coast off of that and kind of grift.
If
Here, take us with you.
If that rumor that we talked about earlier is true, and we get Savage Hulk, and we already know we're getting the Punisher, I mean, what else could you ask for? Spider-Man, Savage Hulk, and the Punisher? I mean, maybe they're going to have something happen with the Hulk like they did with Scarlet Witch, where somebody takes over his mind or something, and Punisher and Spidey got to fight him or something. I'm not sure how they would explain him going from being Professor back to Savage, but I'm along for the ride. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I guess it just depends on what kind of villains they decide to do in that movie. If they're actually going to go with the Sinister Six, but are you going to introduce all those characters at the same time? I know we've got the Vulture, the Scorpion. We've got Mysterio, but he's dead.
Right.
Maybe.
Well, Vulture's supposed to be good too now, because at the end of that movie, he actually defended Peter and was talking in the prison about leaving the kid alone. So
yeah, well, wasn't he more of a scientist, though, and not necessarily a crazy villain, madman bent killing or destroying the world or nothing? He was just
ticked
scientist.
off. He was ticked off that they wouldn't let him sell the alien technology.
Right, but I just mean like in the comics.
Oh yeah,
kind of thing. But
now I also did hear that. I also heard that they are going to have a female villain in the Spider-Man movie, and I saw.
That be, you think?
I don't know. That's what I've been trying to think about.
Not unless they're trying to bring Black Cat in as a villain,
I don't know.
Because then you got that storyline or any of those storylines really, because you could tie in with that.
I'm kind of hoping we get Spider-Woman at some point, because I always enjoyed her, the original, of course.
Jennifer Carpenter, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think that was her name. Yeah, don't you know how I am with names? Don't put me on a spot like that. But yeah, that's right, Jennifer Carpenter. Sounds great.
Which suit? How about that?
The original.
Red with the yellow, black hair.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I think that's Jennifer Carpenter. Yeah. But anyways.
Yeah. Well,
we're just speculating. Because I mean, you get most of those characters in the animated Spider, like the Miles Morales movies, that you won't watch just because you don't like Miles Morales in animated movies, or whatever your reason was.
Spider-Man's Peter Parker. That's all I'm going to say about that.
I refuse
to accept any other Spider-Man but Peter Parker. If they'd have renamed him something, I'd probably. But I'm not really into animated movies either. Although DC's are fantastic. I've watched a few of them. Those were fantastic.
Agreed.
I really like Red Sun and The Court of Owls. Those are all just phenomenal movies.
They're faithful to the comics.
They are, and that's why I like them.
It's almost like they take the panels of the comics and use those as storyboards. And boom, fill in the blanks.
Yeah.
Animated.
So what's going on in the chat?
Looks like K-pop's in. Hey, K-pop.
Hey, K-pop.
And then otherwise, you got he's talking about indoor filming, but I don't know if he was talking about maybe Spider-Man.
Oh,
all the outdoor filming's done, I guess, on Spider-Man. Maybe that's what you've seen earlier. Not that the whole production's done, but just the outdoor filming.
I don't know. They got to be done pretty soon if they're going to release it in less than a year.
Casa said, it's sad that everyone just talks about the Sparkle thing. Also hate when people talk about it and they haven't seen it.
Oh, I saw pictures and that was enough for me. If you're going to have vampires in it, I want have no interest in teenage love story. I want horror. I never watched Buffy either, and everybody was like, "Oh," I'm like, I had no interest. I don't want to see, vampires in that light. I want to see horror vampires. And
I guess me. Jay said Sadie Sink is in the cast.
That's the name I heard. That's the name I heard.
Yeah, you know who that is.
Yeah, that's the name that they said is going to be a villain. They said they casted her to play a villain, but all they said is a villain. But again, it's the
windmill. Got Cloak and Dagger. But you could technically bring those two actors back from their TV show. I thought that TV show was pretty good. Cloak and Dagger. I think it was on Hulu. There was a lot of those little Marvel shows before Disney Plus was the thing. There was Marvel shows on Disney. Yeah, The Runaways, Cloak and Dagger. I think Hellstrom was another one that was later. But I think that one's supposed to be tied into it, though, the Hellstrom. But I don't know. But
I don't know either. It'll be interesting to see what happens. I just hope they keep putting out quality movies because the superhero fatigue for me from the comics was terrible writing. It was like the same story being re-released again, and their constant obsession with having a new Spider-Man #1 every 3 months. And it's just, that's what drove me away from reading the superhero comics. And it was the same kind of thing with the movies, is the superhero movies, especially the Sony ones. The quality was really just going down. And even in the MCU, it was going down. And I'm hoping that these newer movies are going to re-spark it and get rid of it. But it was definitely a real thing for me. I was just burnt out and I didn't watch any of the Marvel TV stuff other than She-Hulk, and I watched season 1 of Loki, but I never got to season 2. And I needed a break. After Spider-Man No Way Home, that was great. I loved it. And now after the Batman and Superman, I'm hoping that my superhero fatigue is ending. But it was definitely a real thing for me anyway. But like that article I read is saying that hopefully, we'll get better quality movies. And if the DCU keeps putting out what they did with Superman, and if Marvel can keep rocking with Spider-Man, that's definitely going to help turn things around for me.
Mm-hmm. Well,
it don't sound like you ever really had it.
It's not necessarily that I had the fatigue, because I would just be like, I'm done with all this. This is just too much, but it's more so like, do I want to go and spend the money at the theater for this, or do I want to wait for it to come out on a streaming platform? Because that's how they base their numbers of success on, is how many people come out and spend the money to see it the day it comes out. To whereas you got other people that, are just tired of wasting that time and money that way, to where if you can just sit at home and not lose any money except for the $8.99 or whatever the subscription you're watching it on, you're already paying that. So if you don't like this 40 minutes in, or you fall asleep, you're not really out. Or getting kicked by the people at the theater. Hey, sir, the movie's over.
Or seeing the dude recording it with his phone and making sure that you get up in front of him as many times as you can to get popcorn.
Right.
Dude, I love your shirt. You gotta stand up and show that off. That's awesome. Serial killer. Good stuff.
Yeah, but as far as the comics go, they take so long to tell so little of a story. Like, you only release I think they're only 28 pages sometimes if you're lucky. Get the Marvel or DC. And granted, I know they need to make money, but just give me a thicker book or more complex story if you're going to just give it little by little. Give a little bit here, a little bit there. To whereas most of the horror stories or indie stuff, it's short, 4-part arcs, 6-part arc, or the
And they're
longer
original.
ones. And they're an original idea. There's nothing, like I said earlier, about like the backstories. You want to sit there and relaunch a new Batman. Well, you spend the first 3 issues doing half of it with flashbacks of the origin story. And then you're at issue 6, and now you just now found out what's actually going on, that you've been after for 6 months. And maybe it's a patience thing. Maybe we're just too spoiled with now that I hate the monthly waiting. But
Yeah.
I mean, at the same time, if you waited the 6 months and just got it in the trade, then obviously you're going to better appreciate that comic, that story, whatever. But
Right. Well, and we kind of touched on this, I think, on the Hydra Hangout too. I think you mentioned it, that like the special one-off series, like the Predator, are so good because they actually spent time on it.
right,
Because it was something that was limited or whatever, or something new. Whereas the ongoing, they weren't giving it the love they needed.
or they don't take risks.
Right.
They
Right.
just kind of
Right.
play it safe for 10 issues, 12 issues, and then boom, you got a comic for a year. If you just played it safe and it's just a minimal, no stakes kind of thing. But
Hey, I can see the chat now. My technical difficulties stopped. Yeah, Jay, that would be cool to have 6 original Spideys with the same actor. But what's really cool is if you count all the other movies Holland was in, like, you know, Civil War and the Infinity, it'll be like 10, which is awesome. Although, Hammond did like 12 if you want to count the TV ones. But did you ever watch
well,
those?
what
The
TV?
Hammond TV Spideys, where he has a metal cord that shoots out of this big aluminum bracelet.
Uh,
Oh, dude, it's priceless stuff. You got to watch it. And that's all you got to remember. That's all we had.
oh yeah, no, I'm not judging at all. I mean, we didn't even have any of that stuff. In the late '80s, '90s, that wasn't a thing except for Batman, Superman.
Yeah.
But Superman was already been in and around for a while. Batman was the only thing we got for a little bit. Well, Spawn. We did get Spawn, but
Blade.
that and Blade.
See,
But
now that's my
later.
kind of vampire movie. I love Blade.
Technically, the first Marvel movie. No,
Howard the Duck, Conan. There's all
right,
kinds.
but maybe it was the first one that had the Marvel logo in the title screen. Maybe there was something significant
Could be.
about that one.
Could be.
To where it was just saying like in association with and how
Oh,
it's
yes.
just words. But
The see-through Captain America shield. Yes, Jay. that he put on the front of his motorcycle and wore a motorcycle helmet with the star. Yeah, that was a fun watch. And then
safety third.
the Thor who came out wearing like uh, animal stuff on his. He looked like he was really from like the Nordic age. Yeah, it was like, whoa, they went there, but that was Thor. Yeah, fun times.
And like if we put the comic book accurate stuff on there, he looks too funny. People aren't ready for that yet.
Yeah, that Captain America, those Captain Americas were something else. So the see-through shield even bugged me as a kid. I'm like, really? What is that?
Sheesh. I guess I was wrong about the Jennifer Carpenter. Jay said it was Jessica Drew.
Well, there you go.
Hmm.
I guess I'm not the only one bad with names.
Yeah.
It's been so long since I read those, though, honestly. I'm surprised I remember Billy Batson.
Oh, Shazam.
Don't say it, man. It might lightning. Crap.
Start to lighten up at all for you? Still dark skies.
No, it's brightening up. Sun's out. That's the light you're seeing. Is there's a window. I'm in my new room. I just haven't had a chance to decorate it yet, so that's why you're still seeing the same backdrop. But a little at a time. I'll get there.
Yeah.
But no, it actually looks kind of nice out. But I know it's hot, so I'm still in here. Although it's probably jacket weather for Jay and Jenna. A 70s Daredevil. Oh yeah, that Doctor Strange. That was something else.
I didn't even know nothing about it. There's another Doctor
You're
Strange
just a
movie.
kid.
Whatever.
Oh, by the way, happy belated birthday.
Oh, thank you.
You want me to sing for you?
No,
for you if you
no,
want.
I'm good. I'm
Oh.
good. Nobody sang for me on the day, so let's
Well,
keep
if
it
I'd
going.
have known that, I'd have called and sang for you.
Nope. I'm good. I don't like making a big deal out of it. Got me my pizza, and I was happy.
Jay, you're just sick and wrong, man. 90 degrees is just sick and wrong. Texas people.
Right. He said that he hated working in the freezer. Remember that?
Yeah.
I would love working in it.
Oh, heck yeah. I'd be camping out back there in days like today.
Yep.
I'll count all the pop cans individually. I'll be back in like 6 hours. Yeah.
But those boxes are unopened. I need to make sure they're all in there.
Well, you got anything else you want to talk about?
No, I don't think so. Got all that off my chest, so.
With all the technical difficulties and weird things that were happening that people don't even know about, I'm glad we got our second live in. Because for a while, I was wondering if it was going to happen.
Right. Like, we might have to cancel this after the fact.
Yeah, as soon as I knew we were in trouble, the minute you announced it was coming, I'm like, something's going to go wrong. Something's going to go wrong. Sure enough, my camera quits working. Your mic goes out. The dogs screw up. It's like, here we go. But we made it through. It was fun. I had a good time.
Yep.
Thanks,
Wouldn't
everybody.
be alive if nothing went on.
Oh, yeah, that's the fun parts about being live. Oh, yeah, we'll be there, Hydra, as long as the weather cooperates. Sure. I actually lost power and internet a couple days ago from the storms that we keep getting up here, which is weird. We don't usually get them that often up here, but they're saying it's supposed to be more this weekend. So if I can, I'll be there. If I'm not, you'll know I might be in Kansas. Well, thanks to everybody that came out. I think we're going to wrap this one up.
Yep.
Make sure that you tune in tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern for the Hydra Asylum Hangout. We'll see you there. Have a great night, everybody.